What's the motherfucking deal? A little shiny and shit. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is a place where we can always engage in some friendly conversation. Whether we agree or disagree, you know, hey, we're all friends in the Den. I'm your host, Honcho. Tonight we will be discussing the value of sacrifice. So I hope you are all doing well. I hope you're all having a magnificent Monday evening. You know, things could always be worse. I don't care what kind of situation you're in. So enjoy life. Be happy about where you're at. And we're going to get into some discussion now. We're going to talk about sacrifice. We're going to talk about the different types of sacrifice. What does sacrifice really mean? And again, like I said, the value of sacrifice. Is it worthwhile? And the call into the Den, don't call now because I'm not going to answer. That should have been up. But anyway, like I said, oh, my face feeling so shiny. Anyway, like I said, we're going to discuss a couple of things this evening, and like I say, sacrifice primarily being the topic. So we'll see what friends of the Den are joining us this evening before we jump into the conversation, and then we shall get it in. Mr. Rabbit, T'Challa. That's odd if you have nuts, and you know, well, then we have a problem that we've been having some strange phone conversations. When you have called into the Den, I always thought you were something else. You might be on Team Dwight. DeMarcus, Nate, what's the motherfucking deal? Cavity Creep, what's the motherfucking deal? Like pig feet in a jar of liquor store. McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Again, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is doing good. I hope everybody is having a nice evening. But again, you know, I want to talk about sacrifice, and, you know, I know the Den has been a little off as of late, and I'm not going to give y'all some bad news like I'm shutting down the Den. No, none of that. None of that. That's not what I'm here to talk about. You know, I am still trying to figure out the angle, how I'm going to approach the Den, because I want the Den to be something worthwhile. I want it to be positive. Or maybe we'll just do like Jerry Springer, have a ratchet-ass show, and then at the very end of the show, every time, have some type of positive message that had nothing to do with what the fuck was going on. Like a bunch of fucking KKK members fighting Black Panthers while BBWs just slapping each other in the face with apple pies and shit. And then at the end, just be good people. You know, life is a wonderful place to be. No, we ain't gonna do all that. But sacrifice, man. And what it was, like I say, you know, the past few months or so, I would actually say, you know, we were doing Dens and I would be doing the Mixer Crew. Now, Mixer Crew might take a hit though, but we'll figure that out. And I was just thinking about it, you know, your time. I say it in the sauce all the time that, you know, time is the one asset that you never get back. You only got so much of it, and some of us get a little bit more than others. But when it's your time, and there ain't too much you can do about that. But you can do things to try to extended or hopefully extended. I mean, it's a gamble, you either, do the things daily that puts you in a better position for your health in hopes of extending the time that you have on earth. But by doing those things, you're sacrificing some of the pleasures that you have on earth. If you want success in certain avenues, then you have to sacrifice maybe friendships or maybe social time, maybe, gaming, maybe whatever it is for the things that you want to attain while eating chicken burgers. Yes. You sacrifice my freedom, moving my pops out. Somebody have to kick move your pops in your house. I thought you moved to. Oh man, look, you got like a Sanford and Son situation going on over there. But again, like I say, sacrifice is very important. And I think people see sacrifice and they see it as a negative word. They see it as a bad word. Oh, it sounds painful. I don't want to be a lamb getting my throat slit and offered up to God, or however you may view it. But sacrifice, in essence, and I don't have a dictionary definition, whatever to explain. I'm sure y'all could pull it up with the little thing. But a sacrifice is not about you losing something. It's about you gaining something, but giving something up in order to gain more, essentially. Giving up something that you don't necessarily need in order to gain things that you want, in a sense, or to gain a level of understanding, or maybe a fiscal status, or whatever it may be. But not too many people get to have their cake and eat it too. And so that means that you're going to have to make real decisions in life. And so, people say, hey, I want to be great. I want to be this superstar. Everybody wants to be famous for some reason. I don't think I necessarily want to be famous. I want to be comfortable in life, have opportunity, have options. That's what I'm about. I want to have options. It's not about being famous. People want, because fame is just that thing you can't ever get rid of. It's not about being famous, it's about having options. You have people who want to be, you have motherfuckers who want to be the man just because, say, how is it a sacrifice if it's not substantial to you? Well, that's a good question. It could be a sacrifice, and you may not. I mean, that's the thing I think about a sacrifice, is that you're not guaranteed to gain anything from it. You're giving up something in hopes of gaining it, And so I think that's the part, the act in itself is the sacrifice, not the attainment of the, I don't know about the attainment of the prize. I did no such thing. I would never call Dominic a discouraged man. Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? And shout out to Anthony. Let's see who else we missed. I don't know if I shout out to Marcus earlier. I see Wise and Heidi. I see that's out Cavity Creep. And I know Mr. Rabbit started off. So if I missed you, I ain't dish you. It was just I overlooked you. But like I say, my thing is this with sacrifice, though, it's the discipline, it's the self-control. So even if you don't gain what it is you're exactly hoping for, you say you're going to sacrifice my time. I'm going to cut out the games. I'm going to cut out the bullshit. I'm going to study. I'm going to, Joshua, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm going to, I'm going to, I'm not going to go out and party. I'm going to train. I'm going to go, instead of doing these things that I take pleasure in, I'm going to work. And so even if you don't gain, that goal that you seek, but I mean, it puts you one in a far better chance to get there. And the likelihood of you attaining it is probably 100-fold as opposed to you not doing these things. You do gain something. You gain that discipline. You gain, again, the self-control. And you can apply that to many areas of your life. Giving up coochie and no head in 2019. It sounds boring. So, my thing is, say shoot for the moon. Is that real? I always wonder, like, do you really pass stars on the way to the moon, or like the stars further out? I always thought the moon was closer than the stars. Or is it just like if you just miss the moon, I mean, you just keep on shooting? Now, how does that work? Like, I always thought, like, every time I hear that phrase, I think about like you shoot for the moon, but then you fucking like come up short. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of it the wrong way. Maybe because I'm thinking about it. Maybe because I'm thinking about coming up short and you just kind of floating out in space there. Well, maybe people mean that when they say that, like, shoot for the moon. And if you just like your trajectory's like way fucking off, and you'll fucking shoot way out there in the stars somewhere. So I think that's girls are trying no dick December. You gotta tell them to put the plastic dildos and all that other shit up. That shit don't count either. That's I always wondered about that. Cause like I always hear this. I always hear shoot for the moon, you land amongst the stars. So I'm like wondering, but I guess it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? If you shoot for the stars, land on the moon. So if you don't quite make it to the stars, you land on the fucking moon. You say shoot for the moon and you miss, you'll be fucked. Remember when they were young, they used to tell you the fucking moon was fucking made out of like green cheese or blue cheese or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, again though, talking about discipline, talk about sacrifice and, goals. I'm just curious, if people want to share that. This is the den, we're all friends. I don't think anybody will judge you too much except for maybe Dominic, because he says some real strange stuff, and probably Kenneth. Those are probably the only people we judge in here. Outside of that, I would like to know what are some of the goals of some of the friends in the den. What if you had one goal, one serious goal that you would like to obtain? And I don't want to get on the whole new me, new year, no bullshit. But just if there was one serious goal that you would have liked to attain in the next year. By the end of 2019 or around this time in 2019, before we're going into 2020, what is a goal that you would like to obtain? Pay off my house? Okay, that's a good one. That's a damn good one. I think that's a legit one. Because like I say, and I'm thinking about, but it's just like I say, the things when we're talking about, the den has been off a little bit lately. Because what I had to do is readjust my schedule. And by that, I mean, is because, like I say, I was kind of doing everything late. Then the late nights were carrying over to the early mornings. And honestly, I'm a person, I'd rather be up early and get stuff done. But, I was doing the den and then kind of, mingling in the mixer because I don't even know how it started. It just threw my time track all the way off. So, like I say, I'm going to start, still do the den at 10. And it's going to be an hour, probably be strict on that hour. And then, like I said, I got to get back to the early mornings because that's just where I thrive. I do better operating early. Like I said, I got up early today instead of working out after the, and that's really what happened. I think working out after the mixers and ending my day with the workout, I think that's what kind of threw my time off. And so it makes more sense to start the day with the workout now. So I'd rather, sacrifice the late hours, I guess. I don't know. Get up early, get more done. So I think that's the kind of the route I'm going. So get off welfare. Appreciate the little things. Appreciate the little things, man. You can do that right now. You can do that right now, Josh. When you say appreciate the little things, I'm just curious. Like, do you just kind of? Because I talk to people about this quite often, and appreciation is definitely something I don't think I lack. I over appreciate everything. And to me, I look for all the little goods in life, and sometimes maybe too much so. But I appreciate all the little opportunities. If I get to cut in line, or you at the store, and like I say, you waiting in the line, you're like, fuck, this line long as hell, and then like say the grocery next to you be like, oh, this line you can come over here, we open over here, and you're like, bam, fuck y'all bitches with your big fucking grocery carts, and you end up sliding over to the other line and get out before the people who were there ahead of you. Little shit like that. I appreciate, catching a motherfucker at the right time and getting that premium VIP parking spot. Little shit. You know what I mean? I appreciate all the little things because what's the motherfucking deal, Jeremiah? Edman, no, I'm not quitting the mixer forever. I'm probably going to tone it down a bit. It may, I just got to figure out how many. For sure it's going to go back to the weekends. I know with the Red Dead, I was kind of fucking with it through the week. But definitely going back to strictly the weekends. Because, and talk about sacrifice. As much as I enjoy the Mixer Crew, and I feel like the Mixer Crew is like a special segment of all the people who fuck with it, from, the sauce, from even the den, and then the Mixer Crew is just like a small little clique, the different set of humor, a different little area. But the thing is, as much as I enjoy that, I got to think about my overall goals. And the overall goal is not necessarily to be a game streamer, not at this time. Maybe, you know, because I'm terrible at games, but I enjoy playing them and just talking shit. But, you know, like I said, I just enjoy the conversation. But, you know, I dedicate a lot of time to that. That could be dedicated elsewhere. You know, and I could, you know, taking those hours, that's hours I could be spending, you know, reading, applying, doing some other things that would be, you know, getting there past the PewDiePie. Yeah, it's going to be H series, Honcho series. What you saying? Why it's so hard for me to get food stamps and a free bus card? Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to get, you know, my Metro and some free Petro. You know, I don't know, man, but I know my motherfucking. You said one of them old cousins of mine, that motherfucker he always was coming across some emergency. Like, how do you do this? This is before he ever even had a kid. I can only imagine now. That motherfucker used to always be coming across some fucking emergency food stamps or some shit. Like, how? You the only nigga I know in the history of niggerdom that's ever got fucking food stamps as a man, you know, with no motherfucking kids. That motherfucker, I don't know how he would do it. He fucking pulled off away somehow. Say Baker Man says, get off the grid already. You say, I feel like if I do the little things, I could do everything I set my mind to. Absolutely. And that's what it is, man. I tell you about an old coach I used to have back at U of H, and he used to always say, man, accumulate the small wins. And once you go through life accumulating the small wins, he used to use in the reference of a game or in life or whatever it may be. But if you win, you know, small wins on every play, do all the little things right. If it's getting that first step, getting your hands in position, you know, just the little things, you know, doing the when receiving is running right, because he was a special teams coach. So, you know, it's just about getting in position and things like that. But again, getting that leverage on your man, you know, making sure you're reading the play correctly. Little bitty things. And you say, if you accumulate those little bitty wins, they start to accumulate to a big win. So you do all those things right, those little small wins on each play, bam, you win that play. You win so many plays, you're going to end up fucking winning the game because you're going to make plays and you're going to excel, you know, you're going to win. And if you do that and you accumulate those little wins as a team, you get the big win overall. So I think that is. Says 1 year for today, I would like to finish it would be to finish a successful semester after a successful move back to U.S. exam time now. Okay. Believe you can do it. Get the fuck out of Kyle, Texas. You can do that, Mr. Rabbit, you know. I don't know if you're old enough, but steal the car. Kyle doesn't seem very big. Go ahead and cross the city limits and then immediately turn around and take your ass back home because the dogs will be looking for you. They'll send out a search party. All the dogs, the Jack Russells will be sniffing out there for you. They'll bitch you. So, but no, I mean, you can get out of Kyle, man. But the thing is, what is your plan when you get out of Kyle? What is the goal? Where do you go to? You know, and what are you willing to sacrifice to get out of Kyle? Because it seems like, you know, your family or you have family and things out there. Are you willing to separate yourself? And let me be honest with you, because just, you know, my opinion, this is not an insult or anything like that to you, Mr. Rabbit, because you seem, in my opinion, a little sheltered. And so it's a big world out there. It's a big, wild world out there. And are you prepared to, you know, immerse yourself into that? These are things you have to think about, you know. So where's the goal after Kyle? What are you doing? Because if you make a plan and you really decide that that is your goal, ultimately, you know, you can do it. It's not hard. I mean, you can get out of anywhere. But it's, do you sustain? Do you maintain? Do you gain? You know, when you get out of there, how are you living when you get out of Kyle? So I think that's a very important thing. Say work out early, kickstarts and metabolism. Yeah, that's what I need to get back on. Say welfare is sexist. No mixer tonight. No, not gonna happen. So I say that because I went through some things this year that made me angry as fuck. Man, I understand your pain. But that's why you got to start looking for the things that made you happy, even if it's the little stuff, if it's a brief moments of happiness, and you start trying to collect those. And, you know, look at your place in life, compare yourself to others. And trust me, you're always at a better position than somebody else. I mean, you can always find somebody else who you'll be surprised who's envious of you, you know. And so it is what it is. But you just got to you got to find a way to appreciate the little things. So you thought your life was over? I mean, it ain't over till it's over, man. That's why I say I always watch stories of, it's a dude, not always, but often I watch stories of people who've come from worse situations. I've changed the game. Like now, as far as the workouts, I've stopped listening to music in so much as like rap music. I think that Meek Mill album was the last thing I listened to, and then after that, it was cool. But I talk about my beliefs, I talk about the music, and I talk about how much trash it is. And I can't sit here honestly talking about this shit, how much I really don't fuck with it, and then be using this to fuel my motivations or to fuel my goals. So what I've been listening to now is like, you know, motivational speakers, Eric Thomas, what's the kid's name that he has around him sometime? Inky. I don't know if you remember, I think Inky went to the University of Tennessee, and basically he was supposed to be a star. Like he was supposed to be the man, and end up like he was supposed to be like a top 30 draft pick, and end up getting paralyzed on a play. I think his junior year, you know, I think he ended up losing his arm and some other stuff happening to him. And so he didn't get paralyzed, but he almost died. So you need to set schedule like so. I know what I'm saying, but right now, like I said, because the way it's gonna fall, if I do continue to mixer, it'll be maybe it would have to be, you know, a weekend thing and probably earlier than the den. Saturdays I don't tend to do too much sauce on Saturdays, or at least streaming the sauce. So maybe, you know, maybe some midday mixing or something like that. So I don't know. You see, let's see. Where we at? UH Extended Browse, man. I played with Kendall Browse. He was there around the time I was there. Kendall Browse, cool ass dude, man. We 20 deep in the den? Oh, okay. I had no idea. That's what's up. What's the motherfucking deal, Jay Dizzle? Let's see. Okay, I've been catching up with the old comments, and so I'm trying to get caught up, make sure I speak on everything. Let's see. You got to pay your house. I'm trying to see again if y'all have some. You know, what are your goals? Like I say, talking about goals for 2019. What are you willing to sacrifice to get there? You say finish my training in under 8 months for work and make a side hustle to have multiple streams of income. Okay. Bigger goal: finish fuck ass undergrad in 2 years and hurry to med school. Undergrad is pure BS. Okay. Prioritizing my time more selfishly. Yes, and that's the thing. What people have to understand is selfishness is not a bad word. It's just time for self. There's everything in moderation. Now, if you're too selfish, you're sacrificing, you know, your quality of life or your friendships and things just for pure selfishness and selfish gain, and that's different. But if you're sort of self-improvement, taking time to improve, you know, where you feel like you're lacking. But if you just get into it where selfishness turns greedy, that's where it becomes a problem. Let's see. Soft series. I'm moving somebody ass in the next 2 or 3 months. Matter of fact, Baker man, you need to make an announcement. I don't know about your announcements, Ed man. I'm cautious about your announcements. Baker man, what were your thoughts on the Wilder Fury fight? I'd like to know your opinion on that one. Let's see. Persuasion, good to see you. Let's see, where we at? Let's see. I want a free T-bone steak so I can piss white people off in the checkout line. Man, that shit used to kill me. But that's the thing. That's the way, you know, that's when you be knowing motherfuckers becoming food stamp. When it be the beginning of the month, you see a motherfucker slide through the grocery store with like 2-3 baskets full of fucking food. Like, normal people don't shop like that. That's food stamp shopping, straight up and down. Like, and the thing about it, I'm not in a place to talk because I still have my issues, and I still got a ways to go and get it better at investing and improving and making better decisions. But people who spend their food stamps like that, you understand why they're in that situation. You get money and then you go blow it. These motherfuckers buying steak, out there buying Nolan Ryan beef, Earl Campbell sausage. What the fuck is all that bullshit? I just ate all my daughter's goldfish, don't have nothing to buy them. Well, that's awful. Terrible. You're terrible. She gonna whoop your ass. Let's see. Fuck you, I scored 143 in my column and it didn't save. Oh, that's awful too. You can get emergency fix if you're unemployed, but they check your income SSN. Okay, well that's how that motherfucker was doing this shit. He said he can have it if you fix the screen. I don't know. The iPhones are probably higher. You can go to one of them fucking Arabs. They have the fucking store. They probably fix your shit for $30-$40. Again, I'm not an iPhone promoter, so I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Browse. I'm gonna tell you. Don't sleep on Browse. Browse was an athlete, dog. Browse could play some ball because he was like, he played receiver. He was a little Welker type. And then I think he was partially like the backup QB too, somewhat like that. So it is what it is. Big 12 school, yeah, that's exactly. They definitely don't want that action. Graduate high school needs to go to U of H or excel and go to Yale. Well, here's the deal: if you're just gonna U of H or Yale, I haven't quite decided yet. Pretty much the same. They say U of H is the Yale of Houston. That would probably be Rice anyway. Fuck Rice. But my thing is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'd be the lick, man. Get up out the bay. The change of scenery, man, is ultimately where it's at. Gives you a fresher, clearer mind. That fucking shit is a cesspool. So there's a kid on Amazon with all the tools you could do it. Go for it. I suggest you do it. See, I found a site that has made till the 9th. So if you're tired of shops, it's 50% off. Man, I need to check that out then. Let's see. You said you're going through a lot of shit and you realize you're making it all up in your mind. So what are you doing to resolve that issue? The WordPress T-shirt, white people. I don't know. I'm thinking WordPress because that's definitely a way you can do things. White Persuasion T-shirt sales tycoon. Yes, me and Persuasion, we're gonna go into business. We're gonna start a dope ass T-shirt company. I'm doing the pelvic thrust workout. When it comes time to hit her with the mule, I understand. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up. I ain't caught up. Like I could catch up. I'm almost there. Wear nipple clamps to keep my mind positive. All right, there you go. You said I seen a Red Dead clip of some hillbilly poisoning a stranger. I passed. I read that. That shit was fun. That shit is fun though. That bitch is live. Go to Yale. If it don't work out, fall back to U of H. Yeah, there you go. The hanging in Aldine. No, I ain't heard about that. I had not heard about that at all. Putting a dead guy on a bar. I'm pretty sure you could do that. Probably done some dumb things. How about the Charlo Brothers? My bio dad wants to go see them at the gym they train at. By the way, think it's in Pearland. Yeah, them motherfuckers go live. All right, we're getting caught up now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Food stamps. They gonna get you a deal. Yeah. If you get 50 cents on a dollar, you winning. And then you motherfucking me. You say Wilder lost is better. They say under space. But yeah, that money saved Wilder. Oh yeah, I think so too. That's what I thought. I felt like he took the L too. Those two drops were cool, but I still felt like even with that, Fury was a couple of points ahead on the. I think that I felt like that Fury was still a fucking couple of points on the ahead on the card. Let me see. My first goal to finish my freshman year on a high note and get a good but high GPA, do excellent school. Well, you got a little ways to go, but you'll get there. Ray. Hey, what's the motherfucking deal? See, I'm catching up. I'm all over the place, man. What's the motherfucking deal? Fuck that Charlie Murphy shit. Fuck your couch. So you fill out the rank of junior activity. Okay, well, you can look. Hey, you already know I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I'm gonna get back on the Rockets next week. Like I said, I had to get back my schedule right, and then as I say, I got to catch up. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been paying much attention to the Rockets, and again, like I say, just with the late night and the way it was just carrying over, it wasn't good. So that's why I say, now it's about getting it right. So sacrificing the BS to be the best, because like I say, I have a goal. It's not a game. I really want Saw Sports to be a major player in the city of Houston. And so for that to happen, it's going to take me making sacrifices. And so that's why I look at, is Mixer contributing to the benefit of Saw Sports? Until Saw Sports gets into a position where I can employ people to take care of certain aspects of it, a lot of it is a lot of work, a lot of things behind the scenes that, trying to figure out, what looks good, or trying to come up with new ideas, or, just changing certain shit up. And there are people who, they offer help, and they, and I try to rely, but I have a hard problem with relying on people, because my thing is, the majority of my life, I've been so used to being let down You know what I'm saying? And so, how dare you call me a fair weather fan? I'm still upset about the L's. I'm still upset about my boy Melo. Not my boy, but Melo. And so, that's the thing that, like, when people, they'll be like, hey man, I can help you with this and like, and I know people mean well, and I want to take a lot of people up on some of the offers, but it's just like, I just expect it not to come through, so I'd rather do it myself. And then sometimes I could do the Bill O'Brien thing and put too much on the plate. And so then something gets pushed back or something gets forgotten. And so I got to get better at delegating and prioritizing. So again, like I say, so it's going to take sacrifice, it's going to take learning, it's going to take a whole lot. Let's project. So like I say, it is, man. It is what it is. It's a very. Oh yeah, but see, I'm not. Here's my thing. That motherfucker got dropped. Them was some haymakers. But the fact, I think when he got back up, like the Undertaker, he literally stole Wilder. So Wilder, like he did, because he ain't used to a motherfucker. He didn't drop some motherfuckers before and they didn't got back up. But usually that second time, that's a wrap. It's over with. He was not expecting him to get back up, and it was over. Milk makes me drop off used kids at the pool. Yeah, that's the lactose diet. So it is what it is. That's awful. You and your foreskin problems. So my thing is, like I say, you have to be willing to sacrifice to get the gains, to get the goals that you want in life. And, that's what I've been sitting and thinking about the last few days. And like I say, I know I've been missing some dens and things like that, but it's just like, hey, I'm thinking about where does everything fall in line. So I like the den. I enjoy the den. I'm not going to stop the den, but that means I have to prioritize everything else. I have to put everything else in the proper position so that the den remains worthwhile, and still, the sauce and everything else that needs to go with that is put in the proper order, and so that's my sacrifice. Again, like I say, there's going to be some other things, I'm not going to go too much into detail that I will be sacrificing, but, even giving up little bad habits, I fell back on the blacks for a little bit, and I said, okay, that's over with. We got to stop that. That shit's bullshit. There's no benefit. They fucking stink, and they're only a less than temporary, relief. It's just the habit of doing something. Well, we were having a good time in here until Kenneth showed up, so there's that. You like eating Life cereal with strawberry milk? Well, I like Life cereal. You know what cereal I like? The fucking Quaker O's. Okay, and I hadn't really been fucking with the cereal, but I saw some the other day when I was in the Wally, so I grabbed some because I haven't had those bitches in years. But anytime I get cereal, Life, Quaker O's, it don't even matter what cereal. The lady Honcho says every fucking cereal, that's that Wick cereal. Every cereal I get, don't matter what it is, unless I guess I got to come on with some fucking Lucky Charms or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But every fucking cereal I get, that's that Wick cereal. There you go. That's what I'm saying. That fucking Wick cereal. That's terrible shit. That's like, I don't think that's Wick cereal. I think that's legit cereal. You know what I'm saying? That is not Wick cereal. The shit was, they used to send that shit in the little boxes. And so, it's certified. Fruity Pebble, my choice of cereal. Fruity Pebble make you shit green shit. You say, is it a holiday in the U.S.? I don't know. I've barely been keeping up with the days. How deep are we? Because my thing ain't even showing up. It ain't even showing the, I don't know why the little number ain't even been coming up in there. But, look, y'all know, see, when food stamps used to go hard, 23 deep, what? I saw something come up. I actually saw a few new subscribers, so that's cool. Man, I used to fuck with the Kicks back in the day. Kicks ain't taste like nothing. Now the fucking don't the Tricks look like Kicks now? Basically, the Tricks don't even have fruit shape that I heard no more. I heard that they fucking all fucking the Twix now are just all like little colored balls and shit. But fucking back in the day, my aunt on my father's side That was my cool lane. That was like, well, one of them. She was the coolest. She was hood than a motherfucker. She was gutter than a motherfucker. She would fuck your ass up too. But man, she was my favorite aunt. The other one who used to play all sedity and shit, she ain't worth the fuck. That bitch still owe me a graduation gift. I want that shit. Dirty little bitch. But she used to get the food stamps back in the day. And you used to feel like you was balling. Cause remember when the fucking food stamps were actual stamp, like the fucking booklet. You know what I'm saying? Not this fucking WIC card. Now we getting bougie. We got fucking food stamp credit cards. You know what I'm saying? Look, you need to make them bring out the stamps again. Motherfuckers need to bust out the little fucking discolored paper. You know what I'm talking about, with the fucking food stamps on it. Yeah, that paper shit. You know what I'm talking Y'all know about that shit. Y'all ain't keeping it real, man. Y'all ain't keeping it real in the den. But yeah, man, you know, so the that shit right there, y'all don't know about that. But that's when food stamps were legit, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, boy, they don't know about that. See, these youngsters don't know about that. They think everything digital. They don't know how life was before Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Shit. Motherfuckers complain about a bad Wi-Fi signal. Shit. Remember when dial-up was all you got? It was a bad signal. It wasn't even no Wi-Fi. You couldn't even go nowhere. You were stationary like a bitch. Denomination. Yeah. That's what I say. That's how you knew you was. But man, I thought you said I could have a 5. So brown ass 1. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You've got mail. You know, all that fucking shit right there. Bride's cake ice cream? Nah, I haven't. I don't think I have. So the car reduces shame. Fuck that. See, that's the problem, man. Look, if you don't go out there and be proud of the stamps, man, look, I think that's that motivation. Be like, fuck, I don't want nobody seeing me. They're gonna be like, what that's a blue face 100? Nah, there ain't no blue face 100. That's a blue face 10, whatever color them bitches was. You know, it is what it is. But here's the deal. Let me do a little quick audio check here, make sure everything is copacetic. And then so then I will make sure to open up this den line. I think we got a couple of texts in actually here. Say, did you hear that France will implement a law that will fine a person up to $250 if they mislabel a trans person with improv? Man, they kiss my fucking ass. Fuck France. Fuck French fries. Fuck all that bullshit, babe. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's Redskins, they dying. They falling off. But yeah, man. So I'm just saying, look, fuck France. France with the shenanigans. Look, I'm cool with trying to be progressive in some instances of life. Okay, you know, I'm all about respect, and I'm all about, you know, the well-being of others to an extent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna just blatantly disrespect somebody. I mean, I may not understand you or your lifestyle. I may crack jokes, but just because I'm laughing at something doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting it. That's insecurity on a person's behalf. They feel like just because somebody's laughing at it. And so it's like you laugh at awkward things. We used to talk about that a lot. Laughter is just how you react to something awkward. If a motherfucker falls and busts their ass, you're laughing because an awkward situation takes place, because you're used to people normally being upright. And when a glitch in the matrix happens and someone falls and they bust their ass, that's not normal. It's an awkward situation. Not that you're necessarily laughing at that person. You're laughing at them because it happened to them, and I guess so you would be, but it's the act of falling, because it's not common, you know? So get everything set up. I ain't had shit set up. And so my thing is, do it French dip. Yeah, I don't even fuck with French dip. French toast. Yeah, shit. Fuck that French toast. The cashier box should play first. Now that would be fucking hilarious. Food stamps and Dr. Pepper bubblegum. God damn, know what they mix. I still feel shame. Everybody knows the difference between a food stamp card and a debit card. Well, yeah, AOL, hell yeah, fucking AOL. And AOL used to try to hit you with that shit, like the little graphical, the little GUI, so it looked like it was really doing something. The little fucking motherfucker pop up. You know what I'm saying? What he would do, they would pop up out the little thing. He'd be running with the little shit. Motherfucker, sometimes that motherfucker ain't never complete his little jog or whatever the fuck he was doing. That motherfucker wouldn't connect. Got to start all over. You trying to get on the fucking internet while your mama's sleep and shit, getting your ass caught. So there's that. It's true. I mean, I can laugh, and it doesn't mean it's just because it's fucking funny to me. It'd be the look on their face there. But that's what I'm saying. It's not about. It's not like, oh, you've just fallen down a class. It's not like you were, you're an upper echelon person now. You're in poverty because you failed. And like, that's how people get embarrassed. Like, fuck all that shit, man. I own that shit. If I bust my ass, if I do something stupid, you own that shit and keep moving. You got to learn to laugh at yourself. But yeah, it do be, because people be making some thrown off ass faces. But y'all give me just 1 second here. Like I said, let me do a little audio check, and then we go motherfucking me. We go get it right. Give me just a second. Perfect. It's over. No more music for you guys. So here is the deal. Look, first. I'll accept that from McVice, but I won't accept that shit from you, Kenneth. Because Kenneth, you've been on some simpery all day. You've been on some super sensational shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why. But like I say, here we go. You say man falls are funny because of fat. Well, yeah. What'd you say? Say the women in the Kareem Hunt video was wrong. We should bring in Kareem Hunt because he's a dog. Well, here's the difference. There's a difference between a dog and a liar. Kareem Hunt is a liar. And the thing why I say that is, because they were talking about, Andy Reid. I remember, well, I don't remember, but I'm trying to think of who it was. But I know Andy Reid has had a couple of guys that he's dealt with that had been of the utmost character. And basically they were sitting there saying that he said that he had nothing to do with it. And so my thing is, a dog is going will own up in a sense to what they did. They may be remorseful or whatever it may be, but they're not going to just be on that bullshit. To me, and then his little fake ass apology, this motherfucker smiling. She's like, there's things you got to understand, I guess, about body language and people when they're saying things, because you can just say a bunch of shit and people will buy it. Well, and he said he apologized, but you can tell when a motherfucker is lying their ass off. So what's in the pack, man? You see it. You see it when you get there, man. It'll be there. Should be there by Thursday. So my thing is, but like I said, with Kareem Hunt, he was bullshitting, man. He was pretty much bullshitting. Like, you talk about the whole little situation. And why is this nigga living in a hotel? Like, I understand you're a 3rd round pick, but you get enough bread to fucking stay. They basically, I don't know if it was like maybe because he was just going back home in the off season or something, and so he was just living in a hotel in Cleveland. But this is Cleveland we're talking about. It can't be that expensive. It's a shit ass city. And the motherfuckers from Cleveland had nerve enough to try to say Houston was the ugliest city in the nation. Like, you bitch, you from Cleveland. Like, you can't talk about anybody and anything, like a literal percentage of your economy was based off LeBron James. Like 7% of the Cleveland economy was based off LeBron James. And that's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. But I mean, shit, if you got to be there, if you got to live there for a little while, shit, fuck it. You're going to be there for a couple of years on a contract, buy your little crib, and then you'll be able to sell that bitch for more than it's worth. You see, like, shit, well, this is Kareem Hunt's old house. Kareem Hunt, the running back. Oh, well, fuck yeah, I want to buy it. But he's able to go back to Cleveland and be leader track. And so my thing is, in RV, now that's where now you're talking. See, and that's my thing, like, oh, buddy, who was that baseball player? That motherfucker was like living in a van or some shit. And that motherfucker had some money. He had a couple of $1 million contract, and he was still living in a van, and he was just cooling with his shit. He wasn't even tripping at all. So, there's that. Let's open up the sauce line. The den line. Everybody's welcome to call in except for Simp and Ken. I don't want to hear about how many backpacks you've been handling lately. I know since the holiday season has been coming, you've been picking up, more backpacks than usual time, more shoes than usual. I know you're spending your allowance on more carnations. Remember in school they used to sell them carnations. You want to get a carnation for Valentine's Day? You know what I'm saying? Can't just be buying all the carnations up. You know what I'm talking about? And so motherfucking me, can't nobody else buy them. Motherfucking simp ass nigga can't bought all the carnations again. Here's my deal. I don't care about none of those guys right now. We'll get into it though in the sauce. I ain't gonna talk too much sports in the what's, but yeah, Le'Veon probably gonna. He said he had. I heard something about the Colts, and I heard some. But I'm thinking the Chiefs with Hunt and that opening and that high-powered offense, quote unquote. He gonna motherfucking me. He gonna probably slide to one of them two places. Excuse me. So, I wouldn't be surprised though. So they got old ass fucks from the slave days. So like I say, and then like I said, heard a bunch of stuff. And then when you go back and look at it, because they were talking about it, I think today, and we're talking about hunting because of the non-sport aspect of it. But basically saying something about, because who was the one who was on there with, I don't know none of them bitches' names, man. I shouldn't call them bitches. That's not a polite thing to do. I don't know the bitches' names. The one that's on there with Stephen A. and Max. Because she was just getting all upset. Like, she must have gotten motherfucking rejected out the DMs or something. Like, she fucking bringing back women's suffrage and shit. Like, I guess y'all still getting done bad. She was really out there. Because she was just like, well, so this is how the women still get treated because of, some shit. I was like, well, goddamn, She was mad about the whole situation. Don't tell me it's on that bullshit again. Make sure this shit is set. So yeah, she was getting all pissed off at the shit like she got rejected or something. But she was saying something about, oh, well, I heard it was because he was mad because she wouldn't fuck one of his homeboys or something like that. But and Stephen A. was like, man, I ain't just don't know no man who would get mad over his partner not getting nothing. I'm just sitting there thinking about it, like, I've never really recalled the situation myself. Like, I'm not finna get mad as a bitch ain't trying to fuck my partner. And be like, well, if in the younger days we were into those kind of activities, but if it was some shit and you just here to just kind of be here and you move around. But if you just, around just to be around, we don't really fuck with you like that. But you're talking about celebrity status and stuff like that. It's a different situation, but I don't really think that it works like that. So, you know what I mean? Job, please. Oh man, I can't lie. That shit was funny as hell. Though. That shit was funny. Yeah, I don't know why, man. I simply can't. I see you trying to call in, man, but the. Apparently the deadline doesn't like you. It's just automatically blocking you, So I think that it is. Just see. His story is real big in Cleveland. His favorite TMZ brought the story to national life. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how is TMZ getting all this shit? Apparently, they got some more information and some other shit. Like, TMZ just got all kind of shit. You say, pass don't give out a pass complete. They go to Gordon Floyd. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't give a shit. Pass go pick somebody up. They gonna get it. Molly, that's the one. You see, thought Carnation with hard candy. No, Carnations was like the low budget roses, like the little fake roses and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if it can't get no action, it is on him. I don't know, kid. It might not just work for you, man. You know, I don't think I see you trying to call, but I see it's just not. It don't like you. It's like this shit saying fuck ckin. I see it where so the missed call shows up, but for some reason, bud, that bitch do not want to show you no love. I don't know. Maybe maybe I already know you finna say some simpery. All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the den line this evening? Oh shit, it was calling. Somebody was calling in. It was working for somebody. Just wasn't working for Kenneth. I seen 2 or 3 other calls coming, but I seen it pull up, but didn't hung up. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the den line this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? This is Ernest.
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Always good to hear from you. What you want to drop in the den this evening?
Hey, man, I want to get your advice on something, bro, because I know, you know what I'm saying, you always keep it real on here and on the South. So I'm going to give you my dilemma. I'm going to keep it short, but I just want to, you know, hear your feedback on it. So I was homeschooling my kids, bro, most of their life. But me and my wife decided, hey, maybe they need to, you know, get to experience certain things, you know, in order, you know, we came to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Put them back in school. Academically, they start slipping. They was doing better at home, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, maybe we need to bring them back, you know what I'm saying, and do it ourselves. And like we've been doing. But the backdrop on it to a degree, bro, is that it's hard, bro. And that's why I'm glad you had this topic, because it's about sacrifice.
Yeah.
Homeschooling your kids, bro, is one of the ultimate sacrifices.
Yeah.
Because you work full time, you got to prepare their education, you know, all that. You're around them all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big sacrifice. But anyway, with what I was able to give you, you know what I'm saying, I just kind of wanted to know your opinion on it. And I'll say this other thing real quick. I ain't knocking nobody and what they decide to do. I'm talking about this is just my situation. And at the end of the day, bro, like, it just seemed like, I know that they slip academically, and it's because the environment that they're in, man. And I try to teach them about peer pressure and all of that. But at the end of the day, bro, like I told my wife, man, it's easy to say this or it's easy to say that. But how you expect kids in general to be positive when they surrounded by so much negativity?
Yeah.
And that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Even us grown adults who trying to get out some tough situations, guess what? We got to relocate. You got to go somewhere else because, you know, you living off your reputation. But anyway, bro, that's what I got, man. I hang up and listen. Man,
Ernest, I appreciate your call, man. That's a great call right there, man. Ernest always calling in with a very good topic or a very good input, and that's a good question, man. And the thing about it is, it's funny because when you put them in that environment and when they are out of your hands, there's so much going on. And of course, your kids are always going to listen to you. If you've raised them right, they're going to listen to you. They're going to respect you. They're going to want to know what it is that you have to say. But when they're around others of like age and like mind, it's a different energy. We were like that as kids. You know, our parents used to tell us stuff, yeah. But then, you know, you run around with some little knuckleheads your age and they doing all the wrong shit. Your parents could be telling you whatever. You will, you know, you gonna run with your people because you that peer pressure is a motherfucker. And I understand that the situation as far as homeschool them, you know, you want them to have that ability to socialize. And people say, oh, well, you got social media and all that, but that makes motherfuckers weird if that's all they ever experience. They'll be kind of abnormal. You got to have that face-to-face interaction, and that's a tough one, man. So ultimately, if you have the ability to homeschool them, I almost say, man, that sacrifice, like we're saying, is maybe you sacrifice that social skill so that they can develop the academic ability, because ultimately you can always develop your social skills as you get older. You can figure those things out, and you may be awkward, but there's ways of getting that. But you got to feed them. You got to feed those brains while they are ripe, or while they're sponges and ready for learning, because as you get older, it gets harder. Again, you let them get influenced at a young age, it's going to be harder to pull them back from that bullshit. And a lot of it is, like you said, man, it was perfect how you said, surrounded by negativity. A lot of these kids come to school negative because they're coming from negative home situations. They have negative families. And that's why I always talk about, motherfuckers glorifying the hood and all this. It's a negative environment, and not to knocking it, because you care about people, but it is negative. It's an environment of lack. And so people think they operate from lack. And so they feel like it's not enough, and that's negativity. But man, ultimately, I mean, that's a tough one. I say, if you have the ability to homeschool, I would say stick with the homeschooling and let them get the social skills later. I know it may lead to awkward development, or maybe feeling awkward or feeling like they missing out on something, but they'll realize in the long run that they're not, and everything that they want to obtain will be, I think, easier to obtain as an adult, again, with the discipline and with the ability that they picked up as youth. Simpy Ken, what the fuck you want, man?
Man. What's up, Ed?
What's up, Kenneth? What do you want to drop in the den tonight, Kenneth? You done blew the den line open and finally let you in, man.
No, but first and foremost, before I get into what I have to ask, I have to say, first of all, fuck Port Arthur and fuck Baytown and fuck Corpus Christi. But what I wanted to ask you is that I know earlier I sent you some screen recordings of some Boondocks episodes,
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang up on Ken today. You can call back if you want to. I'm just gonna hang up on you for that. You can't just come in here hating on everybody hood, man. You can't just come in here hating on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be turf. You know what I'm saying? You just fucking everything. Fuck this and fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Look, fuck Honduras, nigga. Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? You over here sending stray shots. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Look, yeah. Don't ignore the powder on the package. But you can call back in if you want to. I just had to hang up on you that time because you just getting out of line. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund, what do you want to drop at the den tonight, Edmund?
Speaking with talking about sacrifice. When does sacrifice hurt? Like, when do you feel like sacrifice can hurt others, including your family?
It's a very good point that you made, because I think with sacrifice, if it's your goals, if it's what you're trying to obtain, fuck family, fuck friends. And I'm not saying just like fuck off, like fuck them forever, but you got to ignore the outcome. If it's what you're trying to achieve, because you got one life, and if it's your ultimate goal, then you have to do, if you feel like you're willing to do what it takes to get there, then you have to do that. Now you have to be, I guess, I don't want to say rational, because if you are rational, then you might not achieve those goals. Because if you be too rational, people will sit there and tell you, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. But it's not because you can't do it. It's because they can't do it. So I think with sacrifice, man, it's all about what you're willing to, it's all about what you're willing to give up, man. And so I don't know if it hurts. I mean, because again, you got to think about these like fighters, or these people who say they train until, it fucking hurts. I look at, it's a guy I follow. I mentioned him a couple of times. David Goggins, he's been on a couple of shows, and he just released a book, and I kind of want to get the book. I got a couple of the books I need to read first, because I'm backlogged about 4 books back. but he was a dude, and he was talking about how he was up to 300 something pounds, and then he was just living a shit life. He just talks about his life and how it was, and he talked about how he went through with Hell Week 3 or 4 times, and just all this stuff because he just wanted to change his life so bad. He ran like he had fractures in his leg, and he was just fucking himself up, and he actually did some permanent damage to himself, but he felt like it was all worthwhile because it got him to another place in life where he felt that he's passed up the issues with pain and stuff that the normal man goes through. So he's felt like he's taken his mind to another level. I think the human body is it's more malleable than we know, and I think that if we push ourselves to those outer limits, but you have to be willing to go there, you have to be willing to face the brink of death, to get there, to realize those outer limits. And I think a normal person would say no, because they don't want to die. They don't want you to die. They don't want you to suffer. And so I think you just got to listen to yourself, man. You know what your limits are, and you know what it is. And I think unless you're just deteriorating, you really on your deathbed or something, then I think maybe you keep pushing. And I know it's a crazy thing, and it sounds crazy to say, but if it's your sacrifice, if it's your belief, you have to make it an obsession. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the best answer I can give you on that one.
All right. I just have one announcement to make.
What you got there, Ed, man?
So this might be my last month in the den or soft sports in a while.
What's going on?
Because I gotta because I'm coming out the closet. And I'm saying that I got an internship with Texas Instrument as a software engineer.
Word? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was about to push it, but man, that's congratulations, man. Congratulations. I was like, I gotta push. I don't want to do my boy in, man. But that's congratulations, man. That's what's up. I remember you saying you were checking out some places, and so that's dope, man. Hey, well, you always be a member of the den, but you got to make that sacrifice, man. And that's part of what it is, maybe moving on from something you may enjoy to better your life. And again, like I said, we wish you all the best. So, but definitely make it worthwhile while you're still here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And of course, I love Kenneth and Brandon. They're definitely my best friends. And so obviously I want to one day I'll give a big donation to your stream when I get my big bread.
That's all good, man.
And then obviously I want to give 335 and Kenneth bread as well. But first they have to, suck my D first.
That's where we got weird, and that's where we pushed the button. I fuck with you, man, but then we got a little strange. I was trying to let you make it because it was a good intro at first, and then it got a little strange there. So. I don't care what you say about Kenneth, but can't do my boy 335 like that. Speaking of Kenneth, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Yeah, man, this Kenneth.
Yeah, we know.
All right, man. All right, man. I'm gonna get my point across before I get into some of my statements that I needed to say. But yeah, I know earlier I sent you some clips of like the Boondocks, right? And like. It can't be denied that the show is kind of funny, in my personal opinion. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you've seen it before. Well, however you may feel about it, I wanted to ask you that, how do you how do you feel about, like, some of the things that they portray in that show? Like, the whole niggatry type shit that, niggas don't read, niggas don't do this, like, and it sounds bad, and, that's a very controversial show, but I feel like some of the things that they do say in that show are partially true, or maybe are true, like, majority of the time. Like, how do you feel about that?
All right, a couple of points. I'm gonna speak on what you said. One.
Oh wait. One more thing. I want to say, hey man, stop being a faggot, nigga. That shit was weird as hell. Don't ever mention me on no fag shit like that ever again, bro. You fucking weirdo. I'm pretty sure you are coming out the closet too, clown.
You enjoyed that shit, Kenneth. You enjoyed the attention. You over there, Dwight Howard. So my thing is a couple of points that I got to speak on what Kenneth said there. One one being that I don't even watch anything you send me anymore, Kenneth. I'm gonna be honest with you. I see a post from you, I just leave it on read, or you just click it to get the notification off of it. I really do not. I don't read what you send me anymore because I cannot trust the things that you send. I don't even believe it. I just see a message from Kenneth. Yeah. All right, clear the notification. But the Boondocks had a similar situation. Boondocks had a similar situation to, in my opinion, to what Dave Chappelle had going on. And my thing is, Dave was pointing things out, and yes, it was humorous, but I think a lot of the subtleties or the context of what he was saying was going over people's heads, and they weren't really picking it up. And so they were laughing, but they weren't laughing for the reasons in which Dave was doing things. And I think that's kind of, he came out and he said that a few times. And I think the same situation kind of happened with the Aaron Magruder guy. I guess that, he was the creator originally. Then they went on and made I think that third or fourth season, I don't remember how many seasons they had, but they made a season without him. And then as you saw the level of that context, that subtlety, because it's, we're laughing, but there's a message under this as far as, be better than who you are. Don't be this stereotype. And it's a stereotype because there's a lot of truths into it. Excuse me, pardon me. I got to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. But hold on one second. Actually, let me. So the thing is, I think that's what happened with Boondocks too, because the Boondocks was trying to relay a certain message, underlined by, or covered in humor, and then it was kind of I think people just they got the humor but they didn't get the message. And so trust me, Scotty sitting fat. Fuck Scotty, that motherfucker would go out to shit like 15 times today. Wouldn't even shit, and they just want to sniff grass and do some bullshit. But what it is, like I said, and I think that people lost that. And again, when you see that season, when those creators are taken away, it's a different feel for it. That season of the Boondocks without the Magruder guy wasn't that good. It was just kind of, we're gonna pile on the stereotype, but there's no real message. We're just gonna overdo the bullshit. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's going on, Honcho? This is Mr. Rabbit 19.
Mr. Rabbit, how are things, Mr. Rabbit? What would you like to drop in the den this evening?
Doing all right, Honcho. I wanted to speak on the topic sacrifices.
All right. What you got? What do you want to speak on sacrifice?
In some certain situations, I feel like they can be good.
Okay. In what situation would you think?
You own a pet elephant.
What? Wait, what? A pet elephant.
What was that noise?
Because I'm trying to. Because I was going to ask you. And then you threw me off there a bit. I was going to ask you, in what instances are sacrifices bad? So do you see sacrifices being more bad than good? Or, I mean, what is it? When you think of the word sacrifice, what does it bring to mind?
When I think of the word sacrifice?
Yes.
I actually don't know the answer to that question.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the deal.
But I'm not going to spend all night thinking about it, Honcho. Sorry.
All right. Well, I think you should. I definitely think you need to think about the term sacrifice. It's a very important term for people. But here's the deal. Kenneth, get your ass out of here so I can wrap it up politely for the people. I ain't got to kick them out because you in here. But I think, like I say, to me, in my opinion, sacrifice, if you have an intention, is more good than bad, and in the majority of situations, sacrifice is more good than bad. When you think about, back in the biblical days, or the days in referenced in the Bible when they made sacrifices, what was it? It was, you gave the thing your best. So, I don't know, people thinking of tithing and things of that as sacrifices of money, but there's no best money. Your $10 is equal to my $10, or depending on the status in life you have, your $10 may actually be less than that. Your $10 may be like 10 cents. My $10 may be like 10,000. Depending on your status in life or whatever it may be. But still, money is money, and it is what it is. It goes the same distance no matter who it came from. If it always has been the same place, it's just going to go wherever it's going to go. But it was about your best animal or your best crop or your best whatever, in hopes of that I'm giving my best, that I will get great in return. You know what I mean? What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? This is Ernest.
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal? What you want to drop in the den?
Hey, I want to make a comment about sacrifice and about David Goggins. First, about David Goggins, I came across that dude a while back.
Yeah.
And one of the things I took away from him, bro, was mental toughness, man. And I had heard the saying before, but I never really understood it until I heard David Goggins break it down. And I'm going to just throw something out there that I experienced personally, man. Like, if you want to, because when it comes to mental toughness, it's all about breaking that mental plateau, right?
Yeah.
So I was in the gym doing jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, bro, when you get in some submissions, like some arm triangles and all that other stuff,
yeah,
and you can fight through that stuff, because a lot of people quit, bro, because it's too hard. They don't want to endure. But when I came across David Goggins and he was breaking it down, it helped me go to another level and personally to endure a lot of pain that you probably would just tap out on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to touch on that now about sacrifice in general, bro. I think life, like no successful person made it to the top without sacrificing something. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you can truly be successful without sacrifice.
Exactly.
I know personally the things I've been through and I had to overcome, it took a lot of sacrifice, man. So at the end of the day, sacrifice, like you saying, is a very important and crucial, element to success as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, that's what I got, Honcho. Appreciate it. Man,
Ernest, like I say, every time Ernest call in is good stuff, man. And it's good to know. That's saying learn something new about you, man. Like I said, with the jiu-jitsu. And that's something that I've been thinking about. Like, honestly, again, I got to find a place for everything, get the scheduling right and everything. But that's definitely something I have been considering. Taking a martial art. And I know a lot of people say jiu-jitsu is the lick. And so that might be the thing. But that's dope, man. And that's why I say, yeah, if you have not heard of David Goggins, man, you definitely need to check him out, because he will make you look at yourself in a different way. And especially a lot of the stuff, especially with this younger generation that you complain about, that you get upset about, you'll realize is extremely trivial and pointless. But like Ernest was saying, man, as far as fucking success, you will never achieve success without sacrifice, without overcoming some things. And that's what I say, a lot of these people, when they talk about, they're the youth of people who were rich, who become very successful, tend to be not as successful because they're just given everything. They're just handed everything, and they never really have to sacrifice anything to overcome. So they don't know how to deal with it, and they are stuck living in the shadows of, their parents. And, they just lack the ability to progress. The thing about sacrifice is that's so beautiful. Again, like you're saying, mental toughness and developing that skill. And something I was mentioning earlier is that once you develop that ability, even if you don't ultimately achieve the goal in which you're sacrificing for, all right, Balin, even if you don't ultimately achieve the goal that you're sacrificing for, you will develop a skill, and that skill is the mental toughness, because then you can apply that to so many different things in your life. It's not just going to happen in one area, and that's part of getting out of the comfort zone. It may be the sacrifice of it can start with small sacrifices, and then you grow into bigger and greater things. But ultimately, you have to find something, and I think that's the recommendation. I know a lot of people earlier were talking about a lot of things that they want to pull off for next year, and I think you got to start with the small sacrifice. And man, calls like that. That's why I say that's why I can't. The den will stay because I say even if the mixer has to get readjusted and figured out, but that's why the den will stay because the den is it's something special. You know what I'm saying? Aikido. This is a little Aikido spot I was looking at around the way, and it's very interesting. Controlling the movement. Not necessarily about all the kind of using the person's momentum against them. I find that very interesting. So again, like I say, it's just, I appreciate y'all, all the friends of the den, all the calls, everybody. But here's the deal. I'm going to get to, I like taquitos too. But I'm going to get ready to wrap it up here because, like I say, I got to get up early. I'm trying to change the schedule up, trying to avoid the late nights. Got my to-do list for tomorrow. And like I say, everybody, well, not everybody, but some folks, y'all should be, if y'all stay tuned in, probably around Thursday for the majority. Some of y'all will, depending if it gets out, like I say, it may be as soon as tomorrow for some of y'all because most of everybody's in the Houston area. And so it shouldn't take that long to get there. But at the most, I know it's a couple of folks out the way, a couple of folks out of state, but most of them should be there by Thursday. Your sauce packages. And again, if you got a sauce package coming, man, all I ask of you is to make sure you drop a few pics on the gram or the book or whatever you do, and make sure you tag your boy in it or tag the sauce in it. And hey-o. Look like I was copped that right there. But that's a bet, man. I appreciate all of y'all. With that being said, hey, unless Ken is still in this bitch lurking, y'all all good in my book, man. I appreciate all of y'all. With that being said, man, I'm going to slide out. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, man. Y'all ain't got to go home. Ain't no motherfucking mixer to go to. Y'all should probably be at home already. Now it's late. Don't be out in the streets roaming, doing a bunch of nonsense, man. Sit y'all asses down, go to bed. That's what I'm finna do. I'm out.